Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DESU-TV's continuing coverage of Delaware State University Hornet basketball. We're back here. My name is Byron Dixon. Joined along this time by Dirk Slayton. Dirk finally made it out today. Second game of doubleheader action. Regular season champs last year, the MEAC, North Carolina Central, but the team that beat them in the tournament, Delaware State University, on their way to losing the championship game to Hampton. Dirk, I'm going to bring you in real quick before we get to the national anthem. What are some quick thoughts you're looking forward to?
Three quick keys to the game is, one, they have to avoid scoring droughts. They get into a lot of scoring droughts, especially in the second half where they just can't score for 4 to 5 minutes. They cannot do this against NCCU. Also, they have to control the tempo, and they cannot settle for three-pointers.
All right, Dirk. We were kind of interrupted there by national anthem, but talking about your keys to the game and looking at the starting lineups here, go back to your keys to the game.
Just to go back to the keys, like I said before, is avoiding scoring droughts. The Hornets are dead last in scoring per game, averaging just under 58 points per game. And they have good first halves, but in the second half, they go through droughts of 5 to 6 minutes of not being able to score. To avoid that, one, they have to run their offensive sets a lot more crisp than they have been in the past. And secondly, if they can score in early offense situations, it will make it a little bit easier for them to avoid those scoring droughts. So I think also they have to control the tempo. Of course, in years past, the Hornets want to run up tempo. This time they have to be a little bit more selective and when they want to run, because they're just not a high-powered offensive team, and they do not want to get into a lot of shootouts, of course. They want to rely on our defense and keep the game close and hope they can pull it out in the end. But also in the third key is they cannot settle for threes. This offense sometimes gets too reliant on three-point shots because they don't have a true inside presence. They get a little bit too jump shot happy.
Well, we got the starters for the Hornets. You know, we're looking at North Carolina Central. Their starters, Jeremiah Ingram, Enoch Hood, Dante Holmes, Rashawn Madison, Patrick Cole. You talked about Cole and his ability to score. What will his defense have to do to stop him?
The defense, they just have to have extra attention on them. Probably put DeAndre Haywood, who's the Hornets' best perimeter defender, and just have to be up in his airspace and not allow him to be comfortable. He averages 27 points per game in his last 4 MEAC contests, averaging 19 points overall. They have to stop him first and foremost by having a lot of extra attention and not allowing him to have much space to operate.
Well, the Hornets are led by Coach Walker in his first full season. You got Coach Moulton for the Eagles here. And looking at the starters for the Hornets, Scott Sill, Anna Razor, Namala, Onifade, Devin Morgan, and DeAndre Haywood. Who is going to be the key for the Hornets here today?
I think the key player is Devin Morgan. He's averaging 10.7 points per game throughout the season, which is tops for the Hornets, and also is scoring 16 points in the conference. He is a guy who can score inside and out, but he loves the three-point shot. He leads the Hornets and made three-pointers with 30 on the season. He loves the shot. He had 27 points against Morgan State earlier this year and was ranking them from three-point land to get to those points.
Well, Derek, we're just about ready for tip-off. Back here doing WDSU basketball this season. Sit back, relax, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Eagles of North Carolina Central against the Hornets of Delaware State University. Well, Derek, what do the Hornets have to do here in the first 5 minutes of the first half here to get going?
I think just run their offensive sets crisply. Don't play too anxious. Don't play too fast. Just play within the offense, and everything will help itself out.
Cole gets it for the Eagles. Eagles come out running a lot of motion. Hornets come out in a little bit of a zone, just like the women did. Holmes swings it over. Approaching 10 on the shot clock. Three-point shot is up. No good. Shot no good by Madison. Rebounded out to the Eagles. They'll reset. Second three-point attempt is no good as well for Cole, and the Hornets have their first offensive possession.
The Hornets have to be aware that they have to gang rebound out in the zone. Gave up 2 offensive rebounds in that possession. Luckily, didn't give up any points.
And you see Haywood, sport number 1, belong to the great Kendall Gray, and Morgan tried to get it inside.
Morgan right there had the open lane, should have took it himself. Good job with the back cut to get open, but should have finished that play on his own.
Morgan gets it over to Haywood. Haywood fakes the shot. Almost loses it. 6 on the shot clock. Morgan drives, pulls. Shot no good, too strong.
That's a difficult shot right there. Not a good possession for the Hornets.
Rebounded there, out to the Eagles. Three-point shot, no good by Madison. Well, early on, neither team able to find the answer on the offensive end. What have you seen?
Right now, so far, seeing that the Hornets in the 3-2 zone are doing a good job getting out on the shooters, but they have to do a much better job in rebounding out of the zone. Offensively, didn't see too much out of either team so far. Only 1 possession for the Hornets on the offensive side. Didn't seem to get the ball inside at all. Just standing around the perimeter a little bit too much.
Haywood gets it over to Razor. Three-pointer up. No good. Razor misses.
One thing we talked about is not shooting too many threes. First 2 possessions, 2 contested threes. Not a good start for the Hornets on the offensive side.
Holmes gets it inside. Wide open. You have a man. No good. Madison misses again. Haywood on the wing. Brings it off for the Hornets. 17:55 remaining in the first half. No quarters here, still halves in the men's. Seal, top of the key, look for a teammate, get to the Haywood.
The Hornets all the way 30 feet outside of the court here. They got to get something towards the basket.
We have a travel first.
There was no reason for Owen Fade to take that dribble there. He has to go straight up.
Especially with that 6'9" frame. Got to learn to go up strong and take the contact. Still looking for our first points of the day. Cole swings it over to Madison. Long pass back over to the other side. Holmes gets it back to Cole. Cole drives inside, loses the ball, gets it back. Shot no good. Rebounded and blocked away by Owen Fade.
Scott Seals really struggling on the defensive boards right now. He's not boxing out anybody. He's not really hustling to the loose balls. And right now, it's not hurting them, but later in the game, all these second chance opportunities are going to hurt the Hornets.
We're nearly 3 minutes into this game, and no one has even put points on the board. So that would be the question. Who can offensively keep the tempo and be consistent?
And NCCU, very good at scoring. They're third in the MEAC in points per game. So it's uncharacteristic for them to have a slow start. The Hornets offensively, they've been up and down. But if you're the Hornets, you're saying defensively we're doing everything right except rebound, but pretty much locking down all the perimeter guys right now is a good start for them.
And Coach Lavelle Moulton better be careful. He's on the court. Could get a technical. Don't want that early on.
And Coach Lavelle Morton is pretty much the cream of the crop of the MEAC. Has done a great job with this college, North Carolina Central, and turning it into one of the powerhouse of the HBCU. Everybody was shocked when the Hornets were able to knock them off in a tournament last year, but it wasn't an easy game at all. Went down to the wire, and some big-time shots by Amir May to put the icing on the cake against them last March.
Well, now we got the clock issues fixed out. Play resumes. Hornets in his zone, letting the Eagles want to shoot. Another miss, but another offensive rebound. The Hornets are getting killed on the glass early on.
Yeah, everybody has to be accountable to box out some type of area in the zone to keep that from happening.
Another three-pointer, no good. That time by Holmes. Morgan drives, draws a foul.
Morgan has to be aware that he got fouled. He needs to put a shot up there to try to get to the free throw line.
Razor inbounds to Haywood. Razor drives up. No good. Seal tips it in. And just like that, the scoring seal is broken. Hornets lead 2-0. Right back at you. Machine Madison gets it back for the Eagles, and they can score up tempo.
Yeah, this is a team that plays a lot quicker than they've done in years past. They have a lot of good guards, and Madison's just one of them.
Hornets come into this game 2-17, 1-4 to MEAC as Seal misses the three. Eagles 7-13, 2-4 to MEAC. So real big in the standings this game is. And that ball is lost in the turnover, and the Hornets will get it back. Well, Derek, we're about 5 minutes into this game. 2-2 is the score. What has to happen for the Hornets to get some control offensively and get some tempo?
The Hornets need to get some dribble penetration towards the basket. That's the only time they've gotten some points is when you see Dana Razor attack the basket. He didn't finish, but it led to an easy rebounding opportunity for Scott Seals. So they have to attack the basket and not settle for threes. And the 4 possessions, they've taken 3 3-pointers. So that's not a good ratio. They have to get back to attacking the basket and finishing in the lane. Also on the defensive side, they're doing a good job getting out to these shooters. They're doing a good job taking away the airspace, allowing these guys no type of comfortable rhythm because of all the pressure they're putting on. However, they have to rebound as a team. Scottsdale has to do a better job, be more active. So does Onafade has to be more active, and the guards have to crash down and help out so they can get these rebounds and get out on the break.
Well, this year can be called by some a rebuilding year, a year of progress or transition, as you want to say. Last year, a team that was on the cusp of the NCAA tournament appearance to a team of a bunch of guys you may not know their names. So, Derek, Coach Walker has a job in front of him. He's going to start recruiting and bringing in some of his own guys. Let's see what happens here. What do you think about the team so far this year?
I think the team, they have talent. They are a well-coached team, but they just lack that go-to player. A lot of the games have been close, but late in the games, they have nobody to go to. Last year, they had an abundance of players to go to. They could go to Gray, they could go to Bell, they could go to Williams, they could, of course, go to Amir May. They don't have that luxury late in the game, late in the shot clock to find that one guy who can just elevate the offense, who is better than the plays that are called, where if a play breaks down, that person can make something happen. They don't have that yet. Devin Morgan's turning into that guy. DeAndre Haywood's the person we're just waiting to blossom. Now he's the junior. He's the elder statesman. We're waiting for him to take that next level. If he can do so next season or later on during this season, it could be a lot better than that 2-17 record.
We shall see what happens. But right here in the present, we have a game and tied at 2. See if the Hornets can get something going offensively. Morgan drives inside, Razor swings it, has it knocked away, and that'll be Eagles ball.
Onafade has to be ready for that pass, and that's what Razor's getting on him on, is that you're right there. It's a nice dump off, easy dunk. If he can finish that, he can complete that pass. Has to be more aware on that side of the ball.
Cole swings it over to Holmes. Holmes to Madison. Madison, another three-pointer, gets it in. First of the day, missed the first 3. 5-2 lead for the Eagles. Haywood inside, shot no good. Onafade over the back foul. That was pretty blatant.
Yeah, that was a pretty blatant over the back, but a good aggressiveness by Onafade. But what I'm impressed is the take by Haywood. Probably got fouled. They're going to let that type of contact go early on, but want to see Haywood get to the basket more. He finishes about 44% from the field, which is pretty good for a shooting guard.
14:40 remaining in the first half. Cole fakes it, swings it to Holmes. Inside, shot is up, shot no good by Ingram.
Once again, Scottsdale just late on a box out. He's just not getting to the spots quick enough, and it's causing a lot of offensive second chance points for the Eagles right now.
Wide open in the corners, Madison. He made him pay last time, not this time. Still with the rebound. Morgan gets it over to Sill. Sill had it knocked away, but it gets to Haywood. 14 minutes remaining, first half. Morgan pulls it. Shot no good.
And this is just bad offense. This is why they have scoring droughts. Nothing really in terms of a set, just Morgan dribbling up and taking a contested three-point shot. That's not a good look. Got to be more inside out. Get the inside stuff going, and then the kick out for the threes work a lot easier.
Morgan with the turnover there, ill-advised.
So Morgan struggling a little bit early. It's his first time being an impact player by Derek, so I think I kind of got him a little nervous right now. He's not used to being an impact player. He's It's the first time we've been here televising this game this year.
And Madison again in the lane, wide open against that zone. Found the soft spot.
Yeah, Madison's doing a great job finding the open areas in the zone, and that's just good awareness by him, and he's picking apart the Hornets single-handedly.
Razor pulls it. Shot is good.
Good shot by Razor. And that's him coming off a screen and getting some open room to operate. That's a much better shot selection for the Hornets on that possession.
Blocked away by Onifade. Holmes for three. It is in right between the eyes. And the Eagles extend that lead 10-5. 12:45 remaining first half.
And Holmes hit the three and just taunted the crowd. Normally not a good thing when opposing team players taunt this crowd because it can be pretty relentless.
Razor finds trouble. Morgan gets it. Drives right. Out the Razor again. He hit one from the other side. This time no good.
Razor is a good three-point shooter, around 36% for the season. Just couldn't get that one to go.
Well, travel there by the Eagles. .12 minutes remaining, first half. Hornets trail, 10-5. Eagles coming out, making their shots. Hornets have to get something going. They continually wait till the shot clock runs down. Onifade, shot, no good. That's not his game.
Yeah, he looked kind of shocked that he got the ball there. And that's just a bad foul by Haywood, about 40 feet away from the court.
Kevon Waller will check in. Kind of interesting. Kevon Waller played very well last year with the veteran squad. Now he's coming off the bench. What do you think about that?
I was shocked, honestly. I thought he played very well as a small forward, especially when he was starting. He showed a lot of aggressiveness on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But Razor, he's a good, talented wing player as well. And it seems like the Hornets, they want to keep two bigs out on the court because they don't have a great that can rebound every single ball anymore. They have Sill and they have Onifade, who are not the same type of caliber rebounder. So they kind of keep two bigs on the court. And I think if they were able to play four smalls, they would probably have Waller starting as a small ball four or maybe Razor as a small ball four. But with the personnel, it's just not the case this season.
Definitely thought he deserved to start this year. One of the only players I thought remained that could create his own shot offensively. He could develop into a go-to guy. We shall see what happens as the season progresses. But maybe his versatility off the bench could definitely, provide that.
Yeah, maybe he'll play a role that Tyshawn Bill did his junior year where he was the sixth man. He would come in and hit a lot of three-pointers. And, of course, his senior year, he just became too invaluable to be leaving on a bench still. But Waller maybe kind of has that same game as Bell. So maybe he can turn into something like that into a sixth man.
We shall see. Time will tell. But the Hornets with only 2 wins on the season. I think we all knew this coming in. It was going to be a tough, long year. Graf checks in for the Eagles. Eagles swinging the ball side to side. A lot of passes against his zone, moving the ball. Ingram from about 18, no good. Waller, just like that with the rebound. Morgan gets it over to Waller. Haywood goes left. Razor on the wing, gives it to Waller. Waller from the corner. Shot, no good.
But that's his shot. That's something that makes him a good player is those open looks over there.
And the three-pointer there, no good from Holmes.
I have to say that Devin Morgan's doing a great job and gang rebounding and boxing his personnel on this zone. He's getting a lot of rebounds on the weak side because he's not afraid to mix it up with some of the bigger players.
Morgan drives, left, throws it up, no good. Tapped out by Waller, gets it to Haywood. Haywood throws it over to Morgan for three. In and out as the crowd wanted that one. Waller with another rebound. He's off to a good start offensively with those rebounds.
And Waller, he's not just one of those three-point specialists. This is a guy who hustles for every rebound, defends well, sets picks, and making his presence known already in just these couple of minutes here.
Here he comes setting the screen, does a little bit of everything. Morgan goes behind the back, drives, gets it over to Haywood, who gets it over to Razor for three. He likes that shot. It's good.
And great extra pass by Haywood to find Razor wide open. Very quick decision by Haywood is the reason why Razor is able to get that open three-pointer.
Great job there. Hornets only trail by 2, 10-8 with 10 minutes remaining.
And Razor's length at the top of this zone is frustrating the Eagles right now on our offensive sets.
4 for the Eagles, 2, 1. Great shot. It barely grazed the rim, and they get an offensive rebound. But as you see with the zone, the weakness is giving up a lot of offensive rebounds.
Exactly. They don't have the big-time rebound that they had last year, so they're going to get hurt in these zones sometimes. They're actually the worst rebounding team in the MEAC because of that.
Fortunately, the Hornets are only down 2 points, considering how offensively they've struggled a little bit.
Right, and this is a team that's relied on their defense the entire season. Their defense keeps them in the games, but yes, their offense has to be a lot better if they want to make this a close game at the end.
Cole drives, throws it up, avoids the charge. Razor with the rebound. Haywood over the wall of Morgan, gets it in the corner. Haywood drives, throws it up, draws the foul. And that's what Haywood's at his best, Derek, attacking the basket.
And some pushing and shoving going on. Looks like Waller and a couple of Eagles got something going on that side. Couldn't really see who started what, but Waller having to be separated. Also looks like Kyle Benton took the worst of that blocking foul when he and Haywood collided.
Whoa, that's just MEAC basketball. A lot of physicality. These teams know each other well. And it gets a little testy sometimes.
And we have to remember, the Hornets knocked the Eagles out of the tournament last year. So there's still a lot of bad blood between these two teams. They played each other close every single time out.
Well, Dirk, both teams not really finding their way offensively early on. But the Hornets have been pretty good defensively this year, which is tough for a young team sometimes. So the offense has to come with the talent they have.
Exactly, and you're starting to see the ball movement looking a little bit crisp. We're seeing Haywood making good decisions at the top of the key when he gets the ball. But they have to continue to attack. Get to the line, put some pressure on his defense. If they continue to just settle for the three-point shot, this game will get out of hand soon.
Haywood will head to the line for 2 points. And Haywood, you talked about one of the elder statesmen. What does he have to do to take his game to the next level?
I think we've seen it. When he's aggressive and he's getting into the lane, good things happen. It's just he doesn't do it at a consistent basis. He doesn't attack as much as he should. But he's shown good decision-making so far in this game, and that was something that kept him from playing a lot his sophomore year was his decision-making with the ball. But so far in this game, at least, you're seeing him make good passes. He's running the offense well. He seems a lot more comfortable as a shooting guard and as a secondary ball handler than he did as a point guard his first 2 seasons.
Knocks both free throws down, and we have a tie game. 10 all.
And Todd Hughes is another player, as he checks in, that I thought would have taken a bigger role his sophomore year. He was a terrific player for Sanford and Delaware, one of the better basketball teams in the state of Delaware, and had a terrific couple of games his freshman year. Dropped 20 at one point in a game, in a MEAC game, but just hasn't shown it this year.
Holmes, good. And that was a question I had coming to this year, why he wasn't starting, but like you say, he hasn't quite taken that step, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. You want to see the young guys develop, because that's how, when they're juniors and seniors, they can compete for MEAC tournament titles. But they're going to have to start developing a little bit quicker than they have been.
Onan Fade throws it away. Madison gets it, bounce past the head, and it's going to be an easy deuce there for DeJuan Graff.
If I'm Coach Walker, I have to sit on Fade. He's not doing anything on the offensive end so far. I know he's a raw player. He's a terrific defensive shot blocker, but on the offensive side, he's just been a liability in this game.
Haywood drives inside, gets it over to Waller. Hughes, there he is for three. Shot is off. Three-pointer is good again, and there you go, Derek. Patrick Cole knocking down a shot.
He can get heated up very quickly. They have to keep a person on him. That's way too much space for a shooter like him.
Well, we'll get immediate timeout here. 17-10 is the score. North Carolina Central leading the Hornets. Derek, what do the Hornets have to do to offensively get back in this game, as you said? And just like the Eagles are heating up on offense themselves.
Yeah, the Eagles are starting to find their rhythm. What the Hornets have to do, one, they have to get a stop, and then they have to rebound and push the pace a little bit. They're playing a tempo that's more suited for the Eagles, a more methodical pace, and they cannot compete with the Eagles in a half-court versus half-court type of game. What the Hornets have to do, they have to make it a little bit more fast-paced. They have to make this game a little bit more hectic, put a little bit more pressure on these Eagles, and see if they can force some turnovers and lead to some quick buckets.
Well, let's get a look here at the replay and talk a little bit about this play.
And here's Ray's a good Euro step. He's not going to finish, but just them attacking the rim allows for easy rebounds. And then right there, the zone just sometimes being not working like it should be, but Ray's just having himself a good game. And that's what Onafade does well with the shot block. Offensively, he hasn't provided a whole lot, though. Here's a quick decision by Haywood out to Razor, who's has 2 3-pointers on a game so far. He's a knockdown shooter, and with some space, with that quick release and long arms, long wingspan, he's able to get that shot off with no contest at all.
Hornets will get the ball. Haywood to inbound. Haywood give and go. Great play out of the time out there.
And one of the keys to the game that I talked about is when they're going through a scoring drought to execute their offensive sets. They did a terrific job there on a out of timeout play. But once again, the Eagles respond.
Devon Mallory checks into the game for the first time today for the Hornets.
And Waller still has to improve on his ball handling. Him creating offense for himself, just not really a part of his game so far in his career. And there's a prime example of him committing a turnover right there.
Eagles being patient, taking their time, getting a great shot. Floater up, no good, but follow with a slam by Enoch Hood. Redshirt senior out of Norfolk, Virginia. Got to box out.
Exactly, especially in the zone. It's just so hard to box out in the zone because you're not really guarding a person, you're guarding an area, but no excuse for that.
Madison's shot is blocked, but they're going to call that goaltending, Derek.
I thought he got it and pinned it to the backboard. I'm not sure about that. Good hustle. Looked like it was Haywood with the block.
Well, Hornets trail now 23-12. Looked like he did get it, but ref's decision at the end of the day. And the Eagles are on a nice run here.
Yeah, you see Coach Walker talking to the referee like that was clearly a block.
Haywood's looking to get back at him. 3, up and in. Haywood seeing triple, ladies and gentlemen.
When he looks for his own offense like he is now, he becomes a terrific player. And he's being aggressive, he's making right decisions, and he's keeping his Hornets in the game.
Cole thought about it, gets it over to his teammate Madison, and he's on fire right now, having a great game. His name's Rashawn Madison.
They have to extend that zone a little further out because Madison's living on the short corners. That time he decided to take it from a 3 on the corner and knocked it down.
Haywood, Waller, Hughes, Mallory, Morgan, the 5 for the Hornets. Haywood stops, pops, is good. Derek, I think he's listening to you. Haywood showing the full repertoire here early on.
And when Haywood can knock down the outside shot, he's pretty much unstoppable because he has the speed to get to the rim at any time. So right now, he's knocking the shots down. Later on, he can set up the drive, and it just makes him pretty much unguardable for the Hornets.
Holmes over to Madison again. Made a move before he had the ball, and that's a turnover there.
One too many passes there. They had a couple of open looks for 3. They just got a little too cute looking to overpass and led to a turnover. However, I do have to say the Hornets' rotations look a little weird when Razor is not in at the top of the key. There's a lot of open players in the perimeter for the Eagles.
Mallory thought about it. Got a block.
And Mallory just way too indecisive there.
Madison misses again. Morgan doesn't have numbers. Gets it over to Hughes. Hughes behind the back to Mallory, and that's a turnover. Wide open ahead was Graff, who gets it up and in for the 2 points.
And the score right now is 28-17, which is saying on the scoreboard is not all the way right, as there's Waller knocking down the 3.
Waller gets a 3 there. And that's a travel call, so the Hornets defense stepping up. Only down by 8. It could be worse.
And they just have to survive this last 4 or 5 minutes and keep this game close. They're doing a good job with their rotations, resting their starters. Seals got an rest. Onofade's gotten a rest. Razor, who's played terrific, has gotten his rest. So right now, with these last 4 minutes, they have to play solid defense. They have to do a good job on offense, getting a good shot every time down, and make sure they keep this lead or this deficit from reaching double digits. So in the second half, they can unleash all their starters again and try to make a run at it towards the end.
We're going to get a look here at the follow dunk, I believe, or the goaltend here, the goaltend by Haywood. We're going to slow it down. Derek, what do you think here?
And that's a clear block like we thought it was. Good job by the camera team and everybody involved with the slow-mo, and he pinned it on the backboard, and that's not a good call at all.
Well, that wasn't the best call there by the refs. You know, they missed something, and that was one that missed. And Haywood's effort, you can't question that on that play. Great job there.
Yeah, Haywood, like I said, great effort to track it down. And can't get on the refs too bad. That's the only call that we think has been questionable so far. The referees have done a terrific job managing this game and keeping everything pretty much free-flowing.
Well, looking at these stats, what do you like so far?
Well, if you're the Eagles, you have to love Rashawn Madison's contributions. He's not normally the leading scorer, but him getting 12 has really offset the slow start by Cole and Holmes. For the Hornets, something to look at is Razor's done a terrific job, but Haywood knocking down 3 straight shots, hitting a 3, getting to the line. When he plays aggressively, this Hornets team is different. It's kind of like when Kendall Williams played aggressively, the Hornets were different. It's the same thing. When he's looking for his shot, the team is a lot better.
Morgan inside to Hughes. Hughes rises, fires. Shot no good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Taken in by Benton. Eagles working the ball around. Holmes inside. Tried to pass it. Looked like a shot, but it was a pass. Mallory brings it out. Gets it over to Morgan.
Some big possessions here for the Hornets to try to cut into this deficit. Down 8 still.
3:20 remaining. First half and another turnover. As you said, good possession.
And Hughes is yelling at Waller, but Hughes lost that ball. That wasn't a pass. It looked like it slipped out of Hughes' hands, and it just had a chance to go to Waller. Hughes is struggling a little bit, but hopefully he can find his rhythm.
Eagles ball. And the Hornets are still in that zone.
Yeah, and the Hornets are exclusively going to run zone. They try not to allow any penetration inside because they don't have the traditional center shot blockers that they have had in the past with somebody like Marcus Oliver or Kendall Gray.
And I think the Eagles are in the bonus now, so they'll be going to the line rest of the first half.
Yeah, and the Eagles, they're a veteran team. They know they have 3 minutes left, and they have a chance to live at the line to boost this lead here. So wisely, Coach Walker is substituting Haywood back in to make sure nothing gets out of hand.
First free throw from Benton is good. Second is good. Benton makes both. Eagles lead 30-20, up by 10 with 3 minutes remaining first half. Hornets looking for a spark offensively here to get going. Morgan will try to do it himself. No good. Hughes gets it back. Waller up, in, and one.
And there's your guy, but we have an injury here.
And we got an Eagle down on the play.
Looks like it's something with his left leg. Good basket by Waller, though, taking it up strong. And Kyle Benson, who was hurt earlier when he ran into DeAndre Haywood, is still having trouble. Looks like he's having trouble with his left ankle.
We're going to get a look at the play here. The and one from Waller.
See if Benson can put some pressure on it.
Talk a little bit about this play here, Derek.
And he's not really able to put too much pressure on it. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it doesn't look good.
We're going to look at next time out. Waller heads to the line for a chance to complete the old-fashioned three-point play and cut the lead to 7. Free throw is no good. Cole's been kind of quiet early on, but his teammates are getting it done for him. Great pass and inside, and the dunk is missed. Wow, fortunate play there as Hood misses the dunk.
Yeah, Enoch Hood was wide open underneath the rim and just missed it. That's a Shaqtin' the Fool type of play right there if there ever was one. Then he tried to tip it in while he was still holding on to the rim like an NBA Street video game. That doesn't work in college.
Hornets still hanging around. Waller again. He's played well. Shot no good. Morgan gets the rebound. Hughes drives. Ball knocked away. Fight for the scramble. Haywood gets it out. Waller again. Shot is good.
And Waller coming off the bench and just lighting it up right now. And terrific job once again by Haywood. He just seems to know where everybody is at on the court, and it's really helping his offense find some good looks.
Cole takes it himself. No good. Morgan, a great rebound there. Looking up. Bring it out. Haywood drives, lays it in. Hornets cut the lead to 4.
Haywood is having a terrific first half. Passing, scoring, playing good defense, and just being the leader that this team desperately needs. He's looking like that right now.
Well, Dirk, Hornets showing some life here. So far, what have you liked so far in the last 2 or 3 minutes that you've seen from Haywood and Waller?
I think Haywood, he just knows where everybody is at. He seems like he has a good understanding of the playbook now, and he seems like he's understanding where to be aggressive, when to take the outside shot, when to attack. Right here, nice three-pointer right in rhythm coming off the screen. And he's just doing a good job. So far, the Eagles, though, I have to say they've been competing very well, but there's another jumper by Haywood. And then just watch him off the dribble, finds Waller, who's been knocking some shots down as well. So Haywood and Waller, they've been doing a very good job of finding each other open for some good looks.
Hornets looking to close this half out strong. 1:20 remaining. Down by 4. Ball knocked away by Morgan. There's a foul call.
And a nice gamble there by Morgan, just got called for a foul. It's unfortunate because now, like we've talked about before, the Eagles are in a bonus, and they'll make them pay at the line.
Holmes makes the first. Looks like player with blood. That'd be Kevon Wall. He's getting worked on. Holmes, the senior from Baltimore, Maryland, missed the second. Morgan swings it over to Waller. Haywood drives over to Waller. It's good. That's a 3. He's seeing triple. Waller's on fire, Dirk. And the Hornets down by 2.
The two-man game that Waller and Haywood have going on right now just looks terrific. That was a little bit of a play that wasn't really what the offense was supposed to look like. That was just Haywood and Waller ad-libbing and finding an open shot.
Cole drives in, drops it off for his teammate. Maurice McAllister, the redshirt sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina. He'll head to the line for 2. But the Hornets on a good run here.
Right, they're on a good run, but you're seeing what makes the Eagles a good team. Their offense is sputtering, but what do? They find a way in the last 3 possessions to get to the free throw line. Of course, you got to make them count. McAllister misses the first one of the 2 free throws, but that's what makes a good veteran team that you're seeing in the Eagles is their offense has kind of gotten away from them, but they continue to attack the basket and get to the line.
Second one is good. Well, Dirk, down by 3. Could have been a lot worse. Eagles have missed some shots. The defense has played well. What do the Hornets have to do here? They have a chance to possibly go into the halftime tied.
Well, they definitely want to try to hold for the last shot. You don't want to give the Eagles another chance. There's going to be about a 4.5-second difference. So, of course, the Eagles might have a chance for a quick shot of their own. But out of this timeout, you want to take some clock off and run whatever your best play is. And right now, the best play's been Haywood and Waller on the baseline together. Kind of like Haywood will do like a dribble handoff instead of pick, and Waller gets an open 3 in the corner. That's something they've done. Maybe that's something they run late in the shot clock to see if they can get another good look for it.
Hornets have a chance here for pretty much the last shot of the half. Waller's been on fire. Him and Haywood have helped his team come back into this lead. Shot clock down to 10. Waller swings it over. Morgan gets it, draws a foul. So he'll head to the line.
And the worst kind of fouls are the ones away from the ball, and McAllister was holding Haywood. He knew the play was coming to Haywood and held him. Good job by the referee recognizing that.
Madison checks in for McAllister. Haywood makes the first of the one-on-one. So he'll get another shot. Hornets take this free throw only down 1 point with 7 seconds remaining. Second one is good, so the Hornets trail Eagles 32-31, 7 seconds remaining as we get ready for halftime. And we got a major travel there.
I think he picked that ball up probably from half court. I've never seen so many steps right in front of a referee like the referee wasn't going to call it.
Well, they got a chance here, Derek, to heave up one and take the lead.
The Eagles are going to implement a press to try to keep the Hornets from getting any type of a good look at the basket.
Well, Coach Walker's going to draw something up here. What do you think you're going to draw up?
I think you'll probably see a pass probably at half court, and then whoever catches it will probably flip it to a person running towards the basket. That's what you normally see in a situation like that, to see if they can get an open look.
Well, we'll see what the Hornets have here. I mean, Haywood and Waller have been the go-to guys carrying this team on their backs. And with the skills they have, it's no surprise there. Haywood will inbound. Waller has time, gets it up court. Good if it goes. No good. We're going to halftime with a 1 point deficit. Manageable. 32-31 to score at the end of the first half. Well, Derek, Hornets came out a little slow, but they got it together.
They definitely got it together, and it was a crucial moment in the game where the score was, I think, 19-28, and it was a chance for the Eagles to make it a double-digit lead, and we saw Haywood and Waller just go back-to-back, knocking down difficult shots, and some easy ones as well, as Haywood's done a great job finding Waller open for some shots of his own in the corner there. And they've done a great job. This is an Eagles team that was ranked to finish first in the MEAC once again by the coaches poll of the MEAC. So to be able to only be down by 1-2 in a very experienced team that's filled with juniors and redshirt seniors is a very good sign for this young Hornets team. And other good sign is how good Haywood has been playing so far.
Well, we got some replays we're going to look at, talk a little bit about these, Derek. As we wait for those, what are some of the things that you think the Hornets need to do in the second half? Oh, here we go.
Well, hopefully Morgan can get something going on the offensive end, but I wouldn't force it if I'm him because he's the point guard. But those two are just ad-libbing. Haywood was supposed to go to the top of the key, but he knows what Waller's going to do if he drives at him. He knows Waller's going to kick out for an open shot. And right there, he just knocks it down. Waller is living at that right corner. And once again, Haywood just making great plays. You can even see Morgan kind of saying, come to the top of the key. Haywood doesn't do it because him and Waller have that chemistry to make things work.
Well, we'll be back for the second half, Derek. Hornets trail 32-31. Stay tuned for second half action right here on WDSU-TV.
What's up, bro?
Oh yeah. She run track. She run track. Uh-oh, it's a race. Let's go. Oh, she slipped. Got to be the Uggs. It's got to be the Uggs. Let's put that pizza. You got to put him on the baseline. You got to get him. Look. Oh. You got one over there. You got one right there. Hustle. I can't get it for you. Uh-oh, it's a race to the finish. Whoever gets to the baseline first. You got to put him on the baseline. On the red. Put it in the red. There you go. On the red. Right there. Right there. All right, congratulations. You're the winner today. It's Crowd's Pizza Challenge. Appreciate you guys. Come on. We appreciate you guys. Halftime experience. Let's go. Sing it with me. What put you out there? TLC. What we gonna do? Let's go. Can you make that go Michael Jackson mix? PIT. TLC. Come on, Miss Valley. Oh yeah.
No. They don't get Ben Simmons. We get Ben Simmons. Either him or Brandon Ingram.
Well, if the Lakers fall inside the top three, y'all get the picks. I mean, the Lakers are bad, the Sixers are bad. It'll be those two. They should go for the top two.
Shout out to my beautiful island.
All right, guys, welcome back to second half action here of WDSU-TV's Athletics. We got Hornet basketball today. Hornets of Delaware State University taking on the Eagles of North Carolina Central. Hornets trail 32-31, but the Hornets came on strong at the end of the first half. Derek, I'm going to go to you looking at some first half stats. What stood out to you, and what did the Hornets do well to cut this lead now?
Well, one thing I'm extremely excited about for this Hornets team is how good they've done on the defensive end, where they've kept the North Carolina Central Eagles, who are a very efficient offensive team. They've held them under 38% from the field. They're 12 from 32 from the floor in the first half, and that's a terrific job defensively. Of course, the Hornets have to do a better job rebounding because they've struggled on the defensive side of the boards. The Eagles have 10 rebounds, and that led to 7 second chance points. But they've done a great job on the defensive side. And also offensively, the last 5 minutes or so, we saw Haywood and Waller really show some growth that we saw sparks of last season. But they really showed how good those two can be as a tandem late in that first half. And they were able to cut that deficit from 9 points just to 1 against one of the best teams in the MEAC for like the last 5, 6, 7 years. So the Hornets are doing a very good job. Of course, they're the underdogs, but they've done a very good job in the first half. The big question is, can they score enough points? They've done very well in a lot of first halves during out the season, but when the guts of the game happen, they go through scoring droughts. Can they get enough consistent offense? Can Haywood be the person to knock down the big shots when they need him to be, or could it be Waller? But late in the game, they're going to have to find out who can make some plays for them. 8 minutes left in the game, 7 minutes left in the game. where it's do or die, and they have to make a run to keep themselves in the game. They're going to have to figure out who the go-to guy is if they want to beat the Eagles tonight.
We shall definitely see what happens here in the second half. Hornets only down by 1. We saw Kevon Waller, DeAndre Haywood play well. They're going to have to keep this up in the second half and for the rest of the season if the Hornets want to be competitive.
Exactly, and Waller's doing a great job of just knocking down the shots and just being a willing shooter. Sometimes last season he would hesitate. He has a terrific jumper. He is a knockdown three-point shooter, and when he's looking for his own shot, he really becomes a weapon for the Hornets. The same thing for Haywood, and they're doing a great job because Morgan was our impact player, but he's really struggled. Waller coming in and providing that offensive punch is the reason why the Hornets have a shot at this game.
Well, Derek, looking at this Eagles team, they're not the same team from last year. And looking at the MEAC as a whole, what are you looking forward to, I guess, as we head into a conference play in a tournament?
I'm really looking towards how Hampton will play. They lost their point guard. He transferred, but they still have those 4 juniors, well, now they're seniors from last year that won the tournament. They're still looking like a very good team. They're doing a good job. They're in the top of the MEAC. But also Howard and Daniels, who's averaging like 27 points per game. I wonder how long can Daniels keep up that scoring. He's been tremendous throughout the entire season, non-conference, conference play. Howard has a bona fide star on their hands, and he's only like 5'10" point guard. To see him putting up numbers like that is very impressive. I want to know if he can put that up into the tournament and see if they can sneak in and get an automatic bid come March. But there's a lot of different teams to look out for. I think Norfolk State and Jeff Short are still a terrific team. Of course, NCCU is always playing well, and they're always regarded as one of the best HBCU teams. And Delaware State, can they play in the MEAC? Are they good enough to play in the MEAC this season? Can these guys compete? So right now, they're showing that they can.
Well, we're just about ready for second half action here. Long slide, Derek Slayton. I'm Byron Dixon. We'll be back here Saturday. So the men and women will take on South Carolina State. So MEAC conference play is in full effect here. Hornets get the ball to start this second half here. Well, Derek, what do you think about the new shot clock being shorter in college basketball?
I think it just speeds up the game, makes it a little bit more fun to watch.
And Waller comes out, banks a 3.
And he still has a hot hand. But in terms of the shot clock, I think a lot of times you've seen teams kind of muck the game up and make it really slow and boring. And, being able to have the shot clock go up a little or be a little bit quicker makes things a little bit better in terms of viewing the game.
Haywood slams it home, and the Hornets take a 4-point lead.
And just the two people we're talking about, Haywood and Waller, they're coming out and showing the first half was no fluke.
Three-pointer in and out by Holmes. Just on the way here in the second half. But as you said, it does try to make the game faster, speed up the tempo, and I think it's worked.
Yeah, it's done a good job with the 30-second shot clock. It makes the game a lot more fun, a little bit more open.
Morgan drives, takes the contact, gets to the line. And one thing about Morgan, he's got the potential. He's just got to put it together, and I think stop settling for so many jumpers.
Right, and that's one thing that hinders not just him but all of the Hornets is that they're very three-point reliant in terms of their offense. But Morgan hopefully can get himself out of this funk that he's in by knocking some free throws down, and maybe that'll spark him and he'll be able to make some shots because they're definitely going to need him if they want to pull off this upset.
Morgan makes the first free throw. Hornets lead 37-32. And misses the second one. Hornets trapping that corner. And we got a jump ball. It'll stay here with the Eagles.
So far, the Hornets are the only team with energy in this half. They're able to jump out to this 5-point lead, the score being 37-32 because of it.
Cole swings it over. Patrick drives in, pass stolen. Haywood. Euro step, lays it in. DeAndre Haywood.
I'm extremely impressed on how Haywood controls his speed now. His first 2 years, he was just 0 to 100. Now he has a good job of knowing when to be extremely fast, when to just show more of a smoothness like we saw in that Euro step. And he has just complete control of his game and his athletic abilities today.
Cole's runner, no good. Sometimes it's okay to drive the speed limit. You don't always have to go 100 miles per hour. And that was off the foot of an Eagle.
Haywood showing why he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the MEAC. Not only is he tops or third in the MEAC with 2.4 steals, you just see just good defense, has good size and speed.
Razor rises, fires, no good. Ball knocked off of Cole, and it's going to be Hornet basketball.
And the perimeter length of Razor just makes things so difficult for players when they're being guarded by him. And they just turn the ball over or have to pass it up or miss shots because he just has such a good wingspan and has good lateral speed as well.
Morgan takes the screen from Waller. Ball knocked away. Waller gets it back and banks it in with the layup.
And everything is just working right now for the Hornets, and they're up by 9, 41-32. And did not expect the Eagles to come out this flat in the second half.
41-32 is the score.
Morgan had the steal there just a little bit too late.
Ingram inside. An offensive foul.
Good rotation by Waller, and he's just doing everything.
And the Eagles are having a hard time scoring early on in this half.
And it's because of the good activity and the good length that they have out on the perimeter.
Morgan gets it over to Haywood. Haywood throws it away. Not the best pass there.
Right, and those were the decision type of things that he did his first couple years that kept him from really becoming a big-time starter.
And there's your impact player, Patrick Cole, in transition, taking the three. Hand down Mando.
Yeah, not enough pressure on the ball, and Cole just rose up and drilled the three and shook his head at the lack of the defense.
Haywood, he's going to try a three of his own. No good. Rebounded by Cole. Cole takes it. Swings it over to Holmes. Three is good, and this Eagles team is getting hot. Three-point shot is a great equalizer, too.
And just like that, a 9-point lead goes down to 3 really quickly because of that three-pointer.
Oh, we got a timeout from Coach Walker. He sees his lead slowly shrinking. Well, Dirk, Hornets came out on fire. Now the Eagles come back with threes of their own.
Yeah, it was a good start by the Hornets. Just their ability to get out on a break and make some easy plays happen. It first started off with Waller banking in a three, then a Haywood steal, and then Haywood doing some things as well after that with the Euro step, and they're doing a terrific job. However, this is an Eagles team that will not go away. The Hornets are not going to blow out this Eagles team. This team is filled with veterans, redshirt juniors, redshirt seniors, people that are 23, 24 years old against a 19, 20-year-old Hornets team. So this is going to be a fist fight, but if the Hornets do win, it's going to be because Coach Walker does things like he just did. He didn't wait for the run to become a 12-0 run. He didn't wait for it to become a 14-0 run. He called the timeout when it was a 6-0 run, when they still have the lead, where he can draw up an offensive play and hopefully get a bucket for the Hornets so they can keep the lead. It's going to be very important for Walker to use his timeouts judiciously so the Hornets can manufacture some offense.
Well, we're going to look at some replays here. Looking at the play here by Haywood. Talk about this smooth Euro step.
And his freshman year or even his sophomore year, Haywood would have went 100 miles per hour and drew a charge. That time, Euro step did a good job. And then here, Waller, he's been all over the place. You mentioned him early because you were wondering why he wasn't starting. And now I'm wondering why he wasn't starting because he's doing a terrific job. Offensively, defensively, he's in the right places at the right time. He's making the right rotations, and he's doing everything that's necessary for winning basketball.
Hornets lead 41-38, just underway here in the second half. 16 minutes remaining. Morgan drives, throws it over the Razor, pump fakes, shoots, good. Sniper vision, three-pointer is good. 44-38, Hornets lead.
And it's obvious that Morgan's favorite target is to find Razor in the corner, and you can see why.
Shot in and out from Cole. We'll get a timeout here. But looking so far, 44-38 to score. The Eagles have started to chip back in this lead. Hornets with a few turnovers. What is Coach Walker going to talk to his team about here, Derek?
I think he's going to talk to his team about just making sure that they stay disciplined on defense because you don't want to get a little bit too greedy looking for these steals and everything, but they have done a good job defensively to continue to close out on these shooters and continue to apply pressure, but most importantly, to finish each defensive possession with a rebound. That's been the Achilles heel of the Hornets defense is that they don't finish possessions with a rebound. They do a great job challenging three-point shots. They do a great job challenging any shots in the paint, but if you cannot get a defensive rebound, it doesn't matter. So it's going to be huge for the Hornets, especially since they're playing a lot of small ball, for everybody to attack the glass and get a rebound.
And Haywood with 17 points, Waller with 15 points. Those have been the two catalysts of this offense.
Yeah, they've done a terrific job. And also, Razor knocking down three-pointers has been important. What I'm shocked about is just how ineffective Cole's been. He does have 8 points. He has knocked down 2 3-pointers, but he hasn't really been aggressive looking for a shot. He's just 3 for 8. He hasn't really been the impact player that I expected him to be. He's really doing a good job letting the game come to him, but at some point, he has to take over the game for the Eagles. He has to be the guy demanding the shot because he can get a shot over anybody with his 6'5" frame and his limitless range.
Hood will hit to the line. First free throw's good. Second one no good from Hood. Hornets keep their 44-39 lead. Morgan takes him off the dribble, pulls up, no good. Madison in the corner, elbow extended, no good. Razor with the rebound. Morgan has struggled to get it going, but he has Haywood and Waller to lean on. Approaching 15 minutes remaining. Morgan drives. Outside, shot way off, no good.
Mallory's just looked a little bit lost on the offensive end or a little bit tentative. That's a shot he can make.
Eagles with the ball here. Cole has it, swings it over, Good. Holmes on a three-pointer. And the Hornets' lead is cut to 2. And this game will go down to the wire, as many MEAC clashes do between these teams that know each other so well. Morgan to a cutting razor to Mallory inside. Good offensive set there by the Hornets.
And great job by Razor knowing the defender was too close up on him. Back cut and then found an open player when he got the ball.
Holmes again, second straight possession he scores. This time a 2, last time a 3. He has 5 points in the last minute.
And the Eagles, they're veterans like Holmes and Cole. You expect to try to take over games late in the second half. We're not at that point yet. Still 14 minutes left to play. There's a travel.
Morgan with the travel, another turnover for the Hornets.
Morgan hasn't had the best of games, but I do like how he hasn't really forced anything. He's doing a good job running the offensive sets, not allowing his bad shooting night to really hurt the offense too much.
Cole for 3, no good. Eagles have had some good looks, but fortunately for the Hornets, they've missed. Mallory gets it. Morgan drives. Waller traveled before he was fouled.
And when Waller is forced to put the ball down, that's where turnovers happen. He did a good job using the pump fake, just needed to drive past him, did a little bit too much and traveled.
Hornets in the 2-3 zone. Thought about it, he's going to take it, and he made the right choice. DeJuan Graff.
And the Eagles are starting to take advantage of that 2-3 zone. Early on, the Hornets were extending that zone past the three-point line, but as the game's going on, they're way inside the arc, and the Eagles are taking advantage.
And the Eagles take the lead. Morgan gets it back. Ooh, throws it away.
And these are the type of things that happen when the game's close and they just, who is that guy to get them a bucket? We're seeing it for the Eagles. We're seeing Cole hit a 3. We're seeing Hughes hit a 3. But, I'm sorry, Holmes hit a 3. But we're not seeing anybody for the Hornets be the aggressive player that they were in the first half. Everybody's kind of just got into a shell a little bit, and they're just being very passive.
Eagles starting to make some of those looks they get against the zone. Three-pointer from the corner. Good by Madison. Graff made the last 3, gave it up to Madison, who's been making threes all night. And now North Carolina Central with the 50-46 lead with 12:35 remaining in regulation.
And Coach Walker has to get them out the zone or a different zone look. Mallory just airballs a shot. He's not having a good game.
Mallory with the steal, playing center field there. Haywood over the Razor. Razor puts the ball on the deck. Swings it. Morgan, 3. Get it. No good.
Good hustle by Waller once again. But it seems like it's going to call it out of bounds. I thought he saved it, or at least was a foul call. Also, just an update on Kyle Benton, who was injured earlier. He's on the sideline with crutches, so the injury may be worse than what we would have hoped for.
Khalil Thomas checks in. Three-pointer again from Madison. Second in a row.
A timeout is needed. Let's see if Coach Walker calls a timeout. They're getting shot out of that zone, but he's refusing to change his defensive scheme.
Scott Sill will check in next. Dead ball. Razor 3 of his own. No good. Rebounded there by Graff. North Carolina Central's on fire. Scored on that last 4 possessions. Graff inside the lane. Throws it to Madison again. No good. Tapped out. Haywood gets it. Haywood for Central defenders. He's going to take it himself and score. Haywood thought he had it. He did against 4 North Carolina Central defenders.
It was a 1-on-4 fast break, and somehow he made it look easy. But they have to watch Madison. He's coming across on every play, and he's wide open in the corner.
Graff, another 3. In and out.
Let's say if Haywood can be aggressive here and try to spark this offense for the Hornets. Don't want to see a ball hog or anything, but definitely want to see him being aggressive. And Thomas, who we didn't see at all last year, who wasn't playing for the team last year, did play for them 2 years ago, is in for the first time.
Haywood has the hot hand, drives inside, and I think he's going to draw the foul. He does.
Let's see if he gets any type of continuation or if it'll be taken out of bounds.
Well, Derek, this game's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. 53-48. Eagles have come back due to the three-point shot, the great equalizer in the game of basketball. What do the Hornets have to do here after this timeout to get it going?
Well, on the defensive side, they have to figure out how to stop those threes that are happening in the corner. It's not like they're running any type of action that is just unguardable. They're really just having a guy run to the corner, and they're just passing it to him. It's not much special. They get a little bit of dribble penetration and kick out to the corner, and he's wide open because the zone's collapsing too much because of penetration. So they have to stop the corner threes. They have to locate Madison in the zone because he's killing them. And they have to get back to pressing in his zone. When they were in the zone in the first half, they were picking them up just outside of half court. This time in the zone, you're seeing them set up their zone at the free throw line, and they're getting picked apart. So they're going to have to make an adjustment to that. Also on the offensive side, Haywood doing a good job asserting himself, knowing they're in a danger zone, the chance of this game getting away. He inserts himself and gets to the line, or he gets some easy layups also. So good job by Haywood recognizing the situation.
Lady Hornets won earlier today. Big win for them. And now we'll see what the men can do, trailing with 10:36 remaining.
Scott Seal coming in for the first time in the second half.
Razor to inbound for the Hornets. Trailing by 5. Thomas in the game still.
They're getting close to that team foul limit. That's their 5th team foul. That one was on Madison.
Thomas throws it inside, and Razor draws the foul, hits the line for 2.
Good bounce pass and good cut. Good pass by Thomas, and just, I really like Razor's game. I like how he plays off the ball. He just knows where to go to find an empty spot in the zone or a man or wherever they're playing, and he's able to get a foul on that one.
First free throw's good by Razor. Razor, second one, rattles in.
Looks like the Hornets are going to pick up at half court. That's what they did at the beginning of the game, and that's how they were able to frustrate these Eagles guards.
Graff throws it away.
They put a little bit of pressure on the Eagles, and they folded on that one.
Hornets trail by 3, 10 minutes remaining.
Have to get something going here.
Thomas gets to the Razor. Razor draws a foul on Allen.
And now they're at the foul. I'm sorry. Now they're at the 1-and-1, I believe. That's a 16 foul. So the Hornets have an opportunity to live at the line. With just under 10 minutes left, the Eagles are already in a penalty.
1-and-1 here for Razor. Makes it, and like you said, with 10 minutes, about 10 minutes left, the Hornets now going to the free throw line from now on out. Razor makes both. Trails by 1.
Some great man-to-man defense by the Hornets.
3-point shot, no good. Allen on the shot.
And the crowd loved that possession. They were everywhere. And they're going to call offensive charge on that. But
well, the crowd, you heard the collective woo, but Haywood just a little out of control there.
But I like that they went to man-to-man. They were getting killed in that zone. They put Thomas in, and he's hounding the point guard. Haywood's doing a good job on Cole, not allowing anything easy.
Graf gets it over to Cole. Cole drives, throws it out. Madison, he's done this. Graf, excuse me. He's done this all day, and another 3 for the Eagles.
I don't understand how you could leave the guy that's killing you wide open. I don't understand that.
Haywood takes the screen from Sill, tries to split the defenders. That went off his leg, and it's going to be a turnover. Now Haywood doing a little too much with 2 turnovers last 2 trips.
And at some point, they have to get Morgan back in the game. Thomas is a good point guard, but Morgan's the guy who runs the offense, and it takes the pressure off of Haywood in terms of creating. Thomas is not the same creator that Morgan is.
Allen pulls. Air
And
ball to
Allen-
the crowd. Too much to the applauded the crowd.
Allen fell for the crowd chanting 3-2-1. He thought they had to shoot it. He had 15 seconds left on the shot clock and just threw an air ball out. The clock is right there. He doesn't have to listen to the crowd. I don't know how he fell for that one.
Well, what can I say? Just not great court witness there.
Yeah. And Morgan is now back in the game. He's more of the creator.
Waller gives the screen to Morgan. Morgan looking to get it going. Gets it over to Sill. Sill can shoot. No good. Too strong.
And Morgan, hustle pays off, draws a foul. Looks like on Gray.
Well, 56-52 is the score. 7:35 remaining. Hornets down by 4. Well, Derek, getting into crunch time soon. What do the Hornets have to do here?
I think offensively the Hornets might want to try to speed this game up a little bit. They don't have the type of offense where they can generate a lot of half-court points. Even though they have good playmakers and good creators, they're still young. Would like to see them try to get Haywood in the open court, Morgan in the open court, Razor in the open court, and also have somebody like Waller spot up in transition. So speeding the game up really starts on the defensive end, forcing a miss, getting the defensive rebound, which is huge, and pushing out onto the break. where they can let their ball handlers and playmakers make plays.
Well, looking at these stats, who's really popping out to you on both sides for the Eagles and the Hornets?
Well, both sides are shooting the ball a lot better. You're looking at North Carolina Central knocking down 7 3-pointers. They've only made 8 shots in the second half. 7 of them are 3-pointers. That's 21 points. So in terms of 3-pointers, so that really is the game right there. They have to guard the 3-pointers better, the Hornets do, if they want to come away with the victory.
Morgan makes the first free throw.
And we're in this situation where we talked about with just 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining is, can the Hornets generate enough offense? They only average 57 points on the season. Right now they're at 54.
Safe to say they'll outdo the season total.
Hopefully, but they've gone into droughts in the past, and hopefully that's not the case.
Allen, 3-pointer, no good. Still with the rebound. Still getting some minutes here down the stretch to rebound and show some size. Ten on the shot clock, 7 minutes remaining. Morgan pulls it from way downtown. Nothing but net. Morgan. It's all good. Devin Morgan.
And he's averaging 16 points in MEAC play. That's his first 3 outside of free throws that he's made.
Definitely been struggling today, but if he gets going, watch out. Great job there getting Waller in the air. And Patrick Cole head to the line, your impact player.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job there. Just he really had nowhere to go. Pump fake, was able to get Waller just a little bit out of position and drew the contact. That's a veteran move.
Cole with only 8 points today, but it's only taken 4 shots. But Madison and
Holmes as well. Yeah. Both of them, especially in the second half, just got crazy with the 3-point shot. And Cole looking to take the lead here, and he does with that free throw.
Makes both free throws, takes the lead back, 58-57, 6:30 remaining in the half regulation. Stolen away, but give it back to Morgan. Razor, 3, no good. Tipped up and in by Waller.
And terrific effort, second effort by Waller again.
Cole drives in, knows it's his time, no good. Morgan gets it, brings it out wisely. Waller fakes it, goes inside, draws a foul, he'll go to the line.
He might have got bailed out by that foul there. He was a little bit out of control, but when you're playing with that much effort, you get the benefit of a whistle. Big free throws here for the Virginia native.
Waller will head to the line. Makes the first. Hornets lead 60-58. Hornets lead by 3, 5:50 remaining, second half. Cole swings over to Ingram. Ingram's three off front rim, rebounded by Haywood.
And Morgan has made great decisions with the ball each trip down in these last 4 or 5 possessions. And that's another one. Good job getting inside. Just couldn't get it. But still.
Scott with the big boy bucket there. That's what I like to call it. Could have got a foul and one, but he made it.
Just impressive because he's not known as a rebounder type of physical player, but got a huge bucket for the Hornets there.
Well, Derek, going into this timeout, Hornets with the lead. What do they have to do to win this game?
I think Morgan has to continue to make good decisions. He's a freshman point guard, so when the game gets close, the time starts running out, will he continue to make the good decisions that he has been? And then defensively, they have to find a shooter, especially Mallory. Or not Mallory, especially Madison and Holmes. Of course, Cole, he's looking to take the game over. So they have to apply pressure on these shooters because they're not very great ball handlers. They're able to force turnovers when they put pressure on them.
Play resumes here. 5:20 remaining, second half. Cole, 15. You never foul a jump shooter, and that was a Cardinal sitting there. He'll get to the line.
Exactly, and I don't know if Haywood fouled him or not, but when you jump and you leave your feet, the referees, more times than not, are going to call a foul when you leave your feet against a jump shooter.
First free throw, no good. Cole trying to find his stride to get it going. As Todd Hughes to check into the game.
Haywood, who has 4 personal fouls on that last one, got subbed out for Hughes.
Cole misses both. Morgan with the crossover, swings it over to Razor. Ten on the shot clock. Morgan makes a move, loses the handle, gets it back. Razor throws it up, no good. Cole with the rebound. Going to push it up. He's going to get an offensive foul called.
And Cole was out of control there. Good call by the ref. But with Haywood in foul trouble, with 4 fouls, Hughes is in, not the same offensive player, not the same ball handler, forces Morgan to have to make a lot of more plays with the ball himself. We seen on that last possession, he couldn't really get it done. So let's see if Coach Walker can generate an offensive set or an offensive play that can get the Hornets a good look at the basket.
Morgan will bring it up. Hornets slow the tempo down a little bit. Morgan with the crossover. Waller, 3, no good. Razor with the strong offensive rebound.
Razor is having such a terrific game, just everywhere. Him in Waller.
Hornets extend their zone. Chance from the defense from the crowd. Easy 2 there for DeJuan Graff.
Hughes is not the same type of defender that Haywood is out on that perimeter, and he got exposed on that one a little bit too high up on his stance and got beat off the dribble.
Hughes has the ball, and for Haywood with 4 fouls. Still way out, thought about it. Drives in, gets it over to Razor. Razor for three. No good.
Bad possession by the Hornets. Never was able to get outside that three-point line.
Cole, three, no good. Razor with the rebound. Gets it to Morgan wisely. As we approach 3 minutes remaining, Hornets lead 65-60.
The Hornets have to get something going to the lane. Somebody cutting to the lane or some ball movement that leads to a drive to the lane.
Well, Dirk, we're at 3-minute mark. Hornets see victory in their sights. Up by 5. What do they have to do to close the deal?
Offensively, Morgan's getting a little bit too predictable, and they're starting to read his passes, and they're starting to figure out what he wants to do. Morgan wants to cross, and he wants the people on the wings to collapse so he can kick it out to Razor or Waller for the three. Right now, you're seeing everybody stay home. So when Morgan crosses, he's going to have to go to the lane and try to finish it himself. Or they might have to do a different play to try to get Razor or Waller off running different screens. Maybe an elevator screen to get them open at the top of the screen, at the top of the key, or maybe something simple like a dribble handoff and a pick. But they have to find a way to get those wing players open because Morgan's having a tough time creating offense for them.
Well, we're going to get a look here at a replay. Look at Razor fighting for the offensive rebound, going up and getting it.
When you watch this Hornet team play today, they don't look like a 2-17 team. They're a team that's everywhere. They're a team scrambling, making plays just like that one, where you just see a nice tip in. I think that was Waller. And here's another second chance point by Seal, and that was a huge one. That gave him a 5-point lead. That made the game 63-58.
Haywood with 19, Razor with 15, Waller with 18. You got 3 players and double figures for the Hornets. That bodes well for them.
It does. Everything is going according to plan if you're a Hornets fan, except you just hope that the matured Haywood doesn't pick up his 5th foul because they need him for the rest of these 3 minutes.
Seal, 3, bottom of the net, all good. Scott Seal.
And that is such a huge shot. Now it's a 4-possession game, or at least 3 possessions if the Eagles want to get it back with 3-pointers.
Holmes gets the top of the key, drives, throws in. Foul called.
Reaching foul by Razor. Kind of ticky-tack. He didn't see too much contact there. But Razor has to slide his feet. He can't reach. And the Hornets are 1 foul away from being in a penalty themselves, so they have to be careful.
2:38 remaining. Hornets lead 68-60. Scott Seals 3 extended the lead right out of the timeout. Thrown away, Morgan. Going in for the lay-in. He'll score. Easy 2 points there for Morgan.
And just terrific energy. Read that play perfectly. Good job by Morgan out there reading the play before it happens.
And you talked about earlier a few passes he tried to get his hand on or call fouls. This time he read it perfectly. Razor, another rebound. His 5th of the game.
Morgan wants to take some clock off here. They don't want to rush anything, but they don't want to be too slow where they don't get a good look.
Great point. We'll see what happens here. Coach Walker looks at the clock. Knows his team needs a good bucket here, but don't want to rush it.
Want to run the offense right now.
Shot clock at 8. Haywood fakes it, goes left, gets to that strong hand, goes inside, draws the foul. Great job there, DeAndre Haywood. That's when he's at his best, attacking the basket, penetration.
And that was just terrific motion offense and able to get Haywood going to the basket where he's at his best. They were also able to take about 25 seconds off of that clock on that possession. And if they can come away with a couple points at the free throw line, it'll go a long way for them to secure this upset.
Haywood will hit the line. But how about this Hornets offense, Derek? You talked about only average 57 a game. They're at 70, so they outdid their season average.
Yeah, they did that by a lot. And against one of the best teams in the MEAC, to be able to put together a performance here in front of the home crowd. This does not look like a 2-17 team. This is the first time we've been able to cover them this season They do not look like what their record indicates that they are.
Definitely some growing pains, a tough schedule, a lot of traveling as usual. Out of conference games are, as Haywood missed the first one. But getting the MEAC play, this team, we'll see what happens. MEAC this year is not really one clear-cut team that's the favorite, so anything can happen.
Exactly. It's a lot of parity like it always is. And it's, once again, just a lot of talent from top to bottom.
He got in the air there, or Graf didn't know what to do with it and turned it over. And that just did his team in, and they're going to lose this game.
Morgan just has to be smart with it. The team just knows they're not in any particular hurry. They can let this clock go down to 7 to 6 seconds before they really have to look for their own shot here.
Haywood gives the seal. Waller, Morgan, 3, no good. Razor, another rebound. He's been on the offensive glass tonight like a monster. One of his part of his games that I like.
Yeah, a lot of hustle by Razor and get that rebound. Dangerous pass. Waller has to come towards the basketball because all of the Eagles are going to look for the steal. But I'm surprised they're not fouling. No fouls yet, and by the time they'll get the ball back, there'll be less than a minute remaining.
Waller wide open, gets fouled.
Terrific all-around game plan by the Hornets. You have to get a lot of credit to Coach Walker. It looked like they were getting shot out the zone, so he went to a pressure man-to-man defense and forced those ball handlers to make plays happen when they had somebody in their face instead of having open threes. And as we saw, the Eagles were unable to basically get past that pressure.
And you want to know what separates good coaches from great coaches? The ability to make adjustments throughout the game, during a timeouts, after halftime breaks, things like that. You see Coach Walker, a young coach, still ability of growing and learning, but you see he's growing and being able to make those adjustments and becoming better than he might have been last year.
Exactly. And it definitely is the reason why they'll come away with a victory if they can just hold on for the last minute or so.
Madison in the lane, shot no good, gets his rebound, throws it up. No good again. Morgan brings it out, and the Hornets will drive and cruise in the victory lane with a nice victory this evening, scoring over 70 points. A lot of game balls can be given out here, but who are you looking for as the person who will get the game ball tonight?
I think it's hard because there was a lot of good performers.
You give it to 3 people.
We could, but I'm going to give it to Waller because he's the one that was off on the bench. And it's very hard to come off the bench and play great minutes like he just did. I mean, look at him. He's still playing hard. He's still looking for rebounds. And Morgan with the rebound, and now ended. Terrific effort all around. The Hornets scrapped and fought. But, yeah, the game ball has to go to Waller. You called it. You say, why is he not playing? Why is he not getting minutes? He comes in, and he responds.
Well, we got some replays to look at. Hornets win 71-60. The crowd is excited. We'll look at some of these replays here, Dirk, of how the Hornets broke away from this game.
And here's just the last scrum. Morgan gets the rebound. The Hornets are able to celebrate. They beat the preseason ranked #1 team in the MEAC and the North Carolina Central Eagles. Getting a win like this doesn't happen often. The Eagles don't lose often in the MEAC. And this was a huge steal when Morgan got this. And I think that made it a 10-point game at the time. And just the defense was hounding and harassing and just forcing plays to happen all over. This basically was a dagger.
Well, Dirk, a great win there by the Hornets. They get South Carolina State here on Saturday to wrap up a three-game home MEAC stand and a chance to go 3-0 and get some wins against MEAC opponents that you could see down the line in a few more weeks down in Norfolk. So what do you think the team has to do to continue this, especially seeing they can score now and may have found that niche?
I think they have to look at this tape and say we have to play basketball like this every single game. Because they didn't shoot the ball particularly well, especially in the first half. It wasn't like the three-pointers are going down and they were just hot and the shots were going in. They won because their defense stopped some of the best players in the MEAC. They stopped Cole, who was averaging 27 points in his last 4 MEAC games. They stopped Holmes late in the game. They finally were able to close out on Madison, who was killing them early in the second half. So they did all the things they had to do on the defensive end, and that led to the victory. And offensively, Haywood and Waller, if they can continue to play with the poise that they did this game, they could be at the top of the MEAC because they just beat the top of the MEAC.
Well, we'll definitely see what happens. I mean, it's been a great win. You saw a lot from the Hornets. The defense has been great all year. It continued tonight, limiting the turnovers. Going to your keys to the game and how it worked out for them. And you saw a three-headed monster, Razor, Haywood, and Waller. Waller off the bench, doing well. And hopefully this can continue for Coach Walker and his staff.
Exactly. They did a good job avoiding that scoring drought. They never had a drought where it was like 5 minutes left and they didn't score, or a 6-minute drought and they didn't score. Offensively, defensively, it was a total game where Coach Walker just did a great job knowing when to use his timeouts, knowing when to switch from man to zone, knowing when to substitute in and out. He pushed all the right buttons, and that's why the Hornets are celebrating right now.
DeAndre Haywood with 20 points. He's the high man. We'll be back Saturday against South Carolina State here at Memorial Hall Gym. Derek Slayton, always great to be with you. To the rest of the crew, WDSU-TV has all of your Hornet sports covered. We'll see you on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Drive home safely.